When we think about an e-commerce website, we usually think of it as just a digital store, right? A place to sell things. But what if it could be way, way more than that? What if it could be an intelligent, powerful engine for real business growth? Well, today we're going to break down exactly how to build that engine.
Everything, and I mean everything, starts with that little search bar. It's usually the very first conversation a customer has with you. And the stakes? They are incredibly high. Get this, a single bad search experience is enough to make 85% of people see your entire brand in a negative light. Think about that. You don't just lose one sale, you could lose that customer forever.
And the cost of getting search wrong is, well, it's just staggering. $300 billion. Let that number sink in for a second. And that's not some global figure. That's how much US retailers lose every single year, just because of irrelevant search results. It's this massive, silent profit killer that's just hiding in plain sight.
So how do we start to fix this? Well, it begins by completely rethinking what that search bar is for. We need to transform it from a frustrating, rigid tool into an intelligent engine that actually helps people discover what they're looking for.
And honestly, the difference between the old way and the new way is just night and day. On the left, you've got the legacy approach. This is where your team spends, no joke, 97% of their time just manually plugging holes, building synonym lists, creating redirects, and you still end up with those awful zero results pages. But on the right, that's where AI comes in. It's a system that has semantic understanding. It just knows you mean different things when you type milk chocolate versus chocolate milk. It learns from what users are trying to do, and it rescues queries that would have just failed before. It's a total game changer.
And the impact is something you feel almost instantly. I mean, how often do you see a marketing director at a big company just say something this raw? Mate, wow! This isn't some polished corporate jargon. It's a genuine, gut reaction to seeing a huge, frustrating problem just disappear.
And this isn't just about good feelings, right? This translates to real, measurable results. We're talking about a nearly 22% lift in search attribution, which means the search bar is directly responsible for driving more sales, plus a 13% jump in conversion for the people who use it. The takeaway here is crystal clear. When you make the customer's experience better, your bottom line gets healthier.
But a great search bar is really just the beginning. It's the opening act. The next step is to take that same intelligence and apply it to the entire shopping experience, creating a store that feels like it was built specifically for each and every visitor.
Let me paint a picture for you. A real case study. A shopper adds some ground mints to their cart. Okay, then they click over to the bakery section. Instantly, the entire page re-ranks itself to put burger buns right at the top. That's not some pre-programmed rule. That's the website anticipating the customer's needs in real time. It's this subtle, almost magical level of personalization that just makes shopping feel effortless.
Now imagine you apply that same logic across the whole site. Well, the results are huge. You see these massive lifts in really important metrics like visitor conversion and revenue per visitor. It just proves that this kind of hyper-personalization isn't just a nice-to-have feature, it's a core driver of your revenue.
Okay, so we've helped the customer find what they want, and we've made their journey feel personal. So what's next? Well, now we want to intelligently increase the value of every single purchase they make.
And one of the most powerful ways to do this is with something called automated bundling. Instead of just guessing which products go well together, AI actually analyzes mountains of purchase data to find items that people are already buying in the same trip. If that sounds familiar, it's because it's the exact same idea behind Amazon's frequently bought together feature, which, by the way, is their #1 driver for increasing basket size.
The potential here is, well, it's just immense. In one case study with Target, rolling out automated bundles delivered a 384 times return on investment. No, that is not a typo. 384x. It is one of the highest impact things you can possibly do in e-commerce.
And it works across the board, not just for giant retailers. For a specialty store like Hotel Chocolate, it drove a 57.5% lift in the number of items people bought per transaction. It just naturally encourages customers to add that one extra thing they might not have thought of on their own.
But there's another moment, a really critical one that we have all experienced. You've got your cart full, but then that little voice in your head pops up and says, maybe I should just quickly check the price somewhere else. That right there is the moment most shopping carts get abandoned.
So what if you could tackle that fear head-on, right on the page? Well, the impact is dramatic. Compared to the baseline conversion rate, just telling the customer they already have the best price makes conversion jump by 81%. And if you actually offer a small discount to beat a competitor, you see a mind-blowing 306% lift. You are literally converting shoppers who are seconds away from walking out the door.
And the managing director of a major retailer, Dan Murphy's, really hits the nail on the head as to why this works. She says it's not just about saving a buck, it's about building price trust. When customers feel like you're being transparent and confident about your pricing, they feel safe enough to just click buy then and there.
Okay, so let's recap. We've fixed the search, we've personalized the journey, we've maximized the cart value. All of this creates a fantastic experience for the customer, for sure, but it also creates something else, something truly transformative, a brand new, incredibly high-margin profit center for the retailer.
And this is where something called retail media comes into play. Simply put, because your site is now so incredibly good at showing the right product to the right person at the right time, that digital real estate becomes extremely valuable. And now, you can let your suppliers and other brands pay for sponsored placements within your super relevant search results and product carousels. Now, the first thing you're probably thinking is, wait a minute, isn't this just going to ruin the customer experience with a bunch of ads? And the answer is no, not if it's done intelligently. Here's how it works. First, the AI figures out what's organically the most relevant stuff for you. Then sponsored products can get a little boost. But, and this is the key, a highly relevant ad gets a big boost up the page, while a less relevant one gets only a tiny nudge, if any. This is how you protect the customer experience and actually make the ads helpful.
And for the brands that are advertising, the results are just phenomenal. This surfwear brand, for example, saw a 15.3x return on their ad spend. But look at this other metric. The click-through rate for the entire site actually improved by 38%. That means the sponsored products were so relevant that they made the whole website better for everyone.
But here is the real stunner. The profit margin on retail media revenue is typically between 70 and 90%. Just compare that to the razor-thin margins you get from actually selling physical products. It is a completely new, incredibly profitable business model that you can layer right on top of the one you already have.
And look, this kind of sophisticated system isn't something that's built overnight. It's a journey of constant innovation, starting with foundational tech way back in 2019 and then layering on more and more intelligence each year, all leading up to today's generative AI-powered search. Each step builds on the last.
So, what is the crucial takeaway from all of this? We've gone on a journey that started with just fixing a simple search box and ended with building an entirely new business. By focusing obsessively on creating an intelligent customer experience, you don't just increase your sales, you actually unlock a fundamentally new way to generate high-margin profit.
Which all leads to this final, simple question you have to ask yourself. Is your e-commerce site an active growth engine that's powering your business forward, anticipating what customers need, and opening up new revenue streams? Or is it a leaky bucket, losing customers and profits at every single step of the way? Definitely something to think about.